Welcome to Nerd Alert, everyone. We have fantastic episodes for you this week. I am joined by the new MVP, I would say, of the TYT Network.
Wow.
Wow. It's
new
Francis
MVP?
Maxwell.
You used a sports reference there.
I did.
I like
and I
how
think
you brought
I'm
that out.
80% sure I know what it means. Francis, of course, is on TYT Sports. You can catch him doing sometimes Pop Trigger, but also What the Flick.
Yes.
We are reviewing Fear the Walking Dead together and Walking Dead when it returns.
I haven't reviewed it yet with you, but we will be doing
John
it
and
soon.
I have been waiting for Francis to join us.
I can't wait for it.
He will be back soon. We've had studio issues, which you may not know, but now you do. But it will happen, and it will work out. We're going to start off with our first story right now, which is something that's been in the news a lot. 14-year-old Ahmed Mohamed created a clock for his Irving, Texas school to impress his engineering teacher, but it wound up being arrested on suspicion of bringing a bomb to school, a bomb that they, well, this is what it looks like inside the clock. I don't have an engineering degree, but I don't see any makings of a bomb in there.
No, I don't either. I do actually, surprisingly enough, you're about to find something out about me. I do have a mechanical engineering degree.
That's awesome.
Yeah, before I came, when I was in Scotland, playing part soccer, part studying to be an engineer.
And then you went with soccer.
Yeah, I went with soccer. I eventually followed through. But I was so happy when you invited me on the show, and this was one of the stories because we didn't talk about this, obviously, on sports, but it's just something that's taken the world by storm, and it just shows basically judging on assumptions and judging by what some awful mainstream media, I would say, sources put forward, is that we should be fearful of everything that is associated with the Muslim culture,
right.
Basically names and appearance, which is this clear example right here. And suddenly now this kid, who, I mean, thankfully it's taken a turn for the best, a lot of people speaking out about it, but this kid now is basically, as much as he's been optimistic right now, it wouldn't surprise me at some point in the future it will come back to him when he's thinking about being creative and inventive. That the first time he really did this, I would say in school, that someone basically held it against him because they posed it as a threat. And that's something I think is very sad in this situation because he was being creative, being innovative, and it's
well, he was trying to impress his teacher, you know, and he's trying to fit in this school that he wasn't so sure about. And unfortunately, it turned out like this, where it wound up with him in handcuffs after not really doing anything. I mean, this has taken the internet by storm. People have been, you know, making lists of people who weren't named Mohammed who created clocks and were not arrested at school. But things seem to have turned around for him. President Obama has thrown his support, inviting him to the White House.
Nice.
We also have Mark Zuckerberg chiming in. NASA scientist Doug Ellison showing his support. Yeah. And Chris Hadfield, the famous astronaut, and he's getting all these invites and all of these people offering to lend a hand and support him because, you know, at the end of the day, this is a kid who has ambition and intelligence and is wanting to create and work and learn and then being stifled for something completely out of his control, which is really what hurts the most.
And sometimes it takes an instance like this, which, I mean, it's going to haunt that school, no doubt, specifically. And to be honest, they're supposed to be judging and teaching based on what their perspective is from a teaching environment, not judging based on looks, on names or appearances or everything else. So that's why I think that it's a good thing that this is brought to light in their example, because they're supposed to be the pinnacle of what everyone in society is supposed to act. And they're supposed to be one that's inspiring wisdom and hope. And in situations like this, I'm happy that it's now turning positive and this kid's going to be given a lot of opportunities. And you can, when you hear the interviews of the kid, basically when talking, he's so humble and he's so gracious for the fact that he's getting these opportunities, but he also says that I think he's willing to transfer, correct?
Yeah, he's ready to transfer after he makes his visit to the White House, accepting the invitation from the president, which is great. And I was happy to see so many people voicing their support online, you know, standing with him. You know, we need to support STEM education. We need to support each other as human beings who are trying to do better, especially children. My goodness.
Yeah.
So,
and I think this poses a bigger question that I know our host here, like Anna, has been talking about this for many a times, is that many people will hold grudges and basically get on people's case for trying to, I would say, inform themselves more about different races and different cultures. So some people say that racial appropriation is insensitive at times, and I think there is examples where it clearly is. But when you are basically appreciating a different race, you start to understand what that race stands for, and you don't hold them to a certain degree. Like, if we as a country were, and I'm saying we now, probably being a citizen in the United States, was start to appreciate the Muslim culture more, then more people would not hold such, I would say, derogatory assumptions like this kid has just faced, and more people would be more open to something like this that is so innovative, and instead of holding it in a negative regard before you've even understood what it is he's portraying. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do. I mean, I think once we stop seeing other people as not people,
yes,
it's when we could stop focusing on stupid problems and focus on real issues, such as the sciences, engineering, mathematics. It's amazing. It's amazing what we can do when we treat each other like people. What an innovative thought. Audience, what do you think of this story? Let us know below in the comments, and please subscribe for more.